feel like I read a writing about, if you want to have like unlimited kind of expression through your art, you need to publish it in a limited space. But if you want to exhibit your art in a public space, that your art should be limited because like maybe it's not good for children, it's not something like that, and it's been going on even like since forever in Western art world as well. Like I read that Clint also got that kind of rejection from the society because he exhibited like nude paintings as well. So I think like I know that my main focus never about the nude paintings because I'm not an erotic artist, but for me like this paintings, this series for the last 3 years, it's necessary because I always make art that questions the societies or like triggers the societies because I have so many questions that maybe like you say, you cannot share through words or you cannot even discuss it, like publicly, but like if it's like through art, people accept it more. They will see it more like, oh yeah, it's an art, so it's okay, somehow they will accept it more. And that's the reason why I paint naked paintings of Indonesian women. Like I used to paint my friends before I decided to paint myself. And since 2020, I painted myself, and it's a confrontation that I never thought that I would have. Because after I've done my paintings, I realized, oh my God, sooner or later I have to exhibit it, There's like, I was paranoid because sooner or later people will find out that that's me on the painting, But then that's also like Irene said, like it's therapeutic, you're learning about yourself more. You're learning about how you handle yourself in front of society by doing that. You confront yourself as well, and I think it's necessary. And yes, of course, it's gonna be a pro and cons, but so far, it's still working, so don't stop, because at the end of the day, you have to be honest about what you're making, I think, so, yeah.
Thank you, Linkan. It's a very good point, how it's shocking for our societies, where in the societies that there isn't necessarily censorship around human figure, because we do have, and we do see nude human figure in Indonesia. It's in temples, it's in museums, but this is the difference, the nude and the naked body, right? So the nude, like the notion of the nude, like in art, we're talking about one art critic once said that Renaissance nude are dressed in their own nakedness, they're dressed in their own nudity. What does it mean? It means that the bodies that are so perfect, they're so, like they don't have any pubic or other hair, they're just perfect, they don't have any imperfections. Almost all eroticism goes away with it, with the imperfections, and so it doesn't bother us looking at those ideal bodies because they're not real, like we don't. And then what happens is, of course, that it kind of reinforces the obsession of our society with the body standards that are not necessarily healthy. So that's very, very good point, and thank you.
Yeah, it's quite funny because my partner actually got back from Greece, and he was at a cafe and he had his shirt on. And the person working there told him to button up his shirt, and he was like, "Oh." And yeah, I agree. He's like, "This is Greece." He's like, "No, sorry, it's Greece, guys. They didn't button up his shirt." He was like, "Okay, then can you button up Michelangelo Versace's shirt?" And then he paused and realized, "Oh wait, yeah, there's a new session there. Why am I confronting this person by expressing himself? Or also expressing himself?" So I think my work is really because I am an erotic artist. I really draw the real form, which is the is, and I do deal with a lot of censorship, of course. But while I do my work and what my self-expression and the fact that it's okay to sexualize yourself. Because in modern day Asian culture, you're not really allowed to sexualize yourself. For example, if I post a selfie of myself with my shirt off, I'd have an auntie tomorrow tell me, why did you post a picture of it? Why'd you do that? You have no shame. And then I post a picture of her, she's like, she doesn't know me, you know? But she will share it with the other aunties and myself. Well, the censorship of war is, that's one part of censorship that we do. The negative comments to my why am I driving why am I driving to material? And for my previous exhibition, I drew real body as it was, because it was all skin, compared to the fact that I'm doing here, which is beta star statues, defined out of it. But there are no imperfections, it's just perfect. No hair, no sweat, no blood marks, all of that. And when I created this work, and I created this work, it was in Sri Lanka, very considerate country. I felt safe to do it there because I knew people there. Because Sri Lanka very conservative, also very homophobic. You know, my work wasn't very sexual, it was sensual, but of course it was genitalia, different angles, and all tones. So I did feel safe. But also again, when it came to publications, you know, they're posting about my work, they say, oh, could you do an artwork that doesn't have everything? I'll look for something. Maybe you can come up this with, again, it's a fucking artwork. You lose the entire art. So that's sort of like the censorship that I deal with as a sketch artist, but as a creative technologist, because I bring my work to life on my media. And to do that, I have to go through certain levels of, well, to publish it, I have to go through Meta. And to go through Meta, they have certain restrictions. It can't be too sexual or adult content. So I have to make sure that the work that I publish, it doesn't have to be genitalia, but then again, I'm restricting myself. I'm not allowing myself to reach my full potential. And I can't create the art that I want to create because of the limitations of societal norms. So that is why I realized.
Thank you, Naeem. It's very, very interesting point that you brought up with augmented reality, with the AR. Because as far as I know, you create your sketch artworks and then you add an AR effect to them, and those have to go through Meta, like through everything that we go through with Instagram, right? When we post an innocent picture and it gets banned, and there's like, and so this is algorithms, and this is like another thing, like about, it's not already about the human form maybe, but it's about the human in the contemporary world, because AI is kind of now like a very interesting thing that is going on right now in art and in society, and the whole thing around it. We could have another panel, I guess, about that. But yeah, thank you for bringing this up. And also another thing that you brought up that I really like kind of resonated with me, and I haven't really given it a thought before we met, and we talked a little bit before about this with you, is that how come male nudity is even more normalized now? Like it's kind of reversed. Then female nudity is more normalized now, than the male. Like it's much more shocking now to see a male nude picture, be it a photograph or a drawing or a painting, and this also has to do with, a lot has to do with the era we live in. Is so media saturated, like it's everything that we don't see on a daily basis, and it becomes unusual and foreign to us. And so I think it's important in art that we are able to fight it, and we don't go with the flow of what the media tells us to see or do, because the visual code that we live in is shaped, of course, with pornography, with the social media, with advertisement. Like I think those three things are the main kind of factors that come into play when we talk about how our visual code regarding human body is shaped. And so, yeah, thank you for bringing it up. I think I would love to also give the audience an opportunity to ask a question. Anyone has a question to our great artists? Okay, everyone's shy. I know you have questions. I think to kind of wrap it up and summarize it, I know that dealing with the human body in one way or another, be it you're doing a self-portrait or you're doing a portrait of someone you know, or you're painting up from a live model or no, there is a very kind of personal element I suggest comes into play here. There must be something that's coming up here from the artist's personal life and experience, or something that comes from this interaction with a model. And so maybe you can share some like personal things that you bring into art, like a personal, how do you navigate this area where personal becomes a thing on the wall and becomes very, very public? And how does it? Yeah, like sometimes it can be a memory, or sometimes it can be a trauma, or sometimes it may be not that personal at all. It's just a question for, yeah, the ideas.
Like I mentioned before, like I'm always inspired by the events in my surroundings, you know, like because I don't know, but I think that I cannot bring up something that I don't experience because I feel like I'm lying to myself. At least like for now, I only bring up something that I experienced or my friends experienced. Like I painted my friends before I painted myself, right? Because like of course like we share things like how about like live, like on a daily basis, the experience even like at work and stuff like that. I'm inspired by it and I'm that's why, okay, I asked them, like, one of them is my model, not for these paintings, but like the previous ones, and I asked them, like, hey, you know what, I'm inspired by you, can I paint you, you know, because, you know, like, I would love to hear the stories also, you know, like, and then, because because I discussed about women until now, so, I would like to basically, you know, like to how to say it, to encourage them to be comfortable in their own skin. So they post for me, I think like but with pictures, and it's always based on trust first. That's the reason why I started painting people who I know. Then after that, I paint myself, right? And after I've done with the paintings, they all came to my exhibition and they saw themselves, you know, on the wall, and like people, they could see, I don't know, like if they noticed, but they could see like how people react towards the paintings, and most of them, they didn't see it as a negative thing, you know, like it's a comparison, like I said, like between art and the real life events, you know, when you expose, when you really like expose in art form, people see it like they have a different perspective. So yeah, that's how I talk to people, and also like based on experiences and everything. Maybe in the future also I'll change the topics because I don't know what's gonna happen next time, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I can see now how my question was a little bit like confusing maybe, because what isn't personal, right? Especially in art, like everything is personal. But yeah, maybe anything else you guys would like to add about the artworks that the viewers are about to see on the fourth floor and in the bronze hall? Anything in particular?
Yeah, well, just on that question, I believe in everything you can imagine is real. So I have one series that is called Timelines, and I believe that we can jump in different timelines because everything exists now. It's just a matter of that a lot. And so one of the series has that concept where there are a lot of elements of all things that you can choose to let go. So maybe certain parts of behavior that you've been practicing as a child because it's brought you to the, to your next phase, maybe survival mode because of parents or whatever. You can just, I always say chuck it in a pocket bucket and move on. And in the meanwhile, you can visualize and focus and feel the things that you would like to attract. And the fact that we are all here in Bali, somehow we have created it for ourselves, right? We escaped our own world and here we are. So that is really one of the things that reflects my personal story and my techniques that I use to become more myself every day.
Actually, for me, on the same question, my journey as an artist is very personal as well. Because I remember when I was 14 and I drew the first male nude project that I did. I crushed it out and threw it away because I come from a Muslim and Catholic background, and I didn't want anyone to find that because I was still discovering myself as well. And I always thought, would I ever be able to show my work? And now I'm having an exhibition, so it's pretty exciting for me to go from that to this. From crushing up an artwork and throwing it away to publishing it for everyone to see.
It's called manifestation.
Honesty. Through honesty, I feel like we can achieve more things than through conforming to something that doesn't belong to us, right? Thank you guys so much for sharing at this talk, and thank you again so much for allowing us show your work at this exhibition. And to everyone who is here right now, I just wanted to remind that we have a full day of just outstanding art. After this talk, we will have another discussion with Olga Vetrova and her team that was working on these artworks. These are the stills from the movie that they prepared, and these are her artworks. So more talks to come. And at 4 o'clock, please make sure you're here on the 4th floor, just past this delicious dessert stand. Elevator will take you to the 4th floor where we have a big group exhibition where these wonderful artists are present and other artists from Jogja, Jakarta, Bali, and all across the world. And if you are not sure about today's schedule, just please ask at the reception downstairs. You can grab also a map of the venue because